So here we are today. We've got two 124s, and I thought I'd show you a few differences between these two. They're not the same car. They've got a lot of. They're made 10 years apart. So this is a 1986. Hello. Okay. Okay. This is a 1986, while this is a 98. I think it's a 98, yeah. So this is the first year that they were ever made. It isn't correct. I've changed a few things around. This is my little scrapyard find that I'm trying to build up and make into a car that's usable. Daily driver, to be precise. While this is a car on the top end of the condition scale. So I would say this is a 9.5. There is something still desired in every car, but this is like a 9.5. It's a beautiful car. It has everything you could want in the right condition. So I'll go through the differences between these two, and I'll also be able to tell you what you should look at when you want one. You'll be able to see a car which is really rough, still really rough, and you've got a car which is really clean. So we'll start off with the physical differences, the things you can see on the front end. We've got these amber indicators and headlights. The internals of these headlights are not chromed or not silver painted. While these are, they do give it a refreshing look. So yeah, these are clear indicators, and these white or some sort of like powdery type of look. Yeah, so these are much lighter looking headlights. They are the same bodies, but these are a bit different. While these are these have amber indicators. The grille is also different. We've got a grille which is a separate unit from the bonnet, and the hood emblem fits over here. While on this one, it is it's inserted into the bonnet. The bonnet comes down all the way here, and this grille is a separate unit. This car looks a lot rounded off. The hood emblem fits on the bonnet. I also wanted to talk about the engines of these cars because there are differences. This is a Telco model. It was made in India. So this is, they had a collaboration with Tata, so that's why it's called the Telco model. And they used to make them somewhere around Pune. And these only came with two engines. They came with automatic. Excuse me, Mishka! No. They sometimes come with automatics. It's really rare and desirable because to put it in, it would cost you maybe 50 to 70,000 just to make an automatic gearbox work in a manual. But over here we have two manuals. I'll be telling you about these engines because that is something you should look at when you're picking up one too. This is a facelift. So we'll start with the pre-facelift, which we have over here. They came with petrol engines up to I think 400 cc petrol engines, but this here is this is called the OM603. So this is the first generation of their new engines. It still does sound like a tractor. It is a single overhead cam compared to that one over there, but this is the 603. You have 6 cylinders at 3 liters, and you also have a 5-cylinder version, which is a 250. That is called a 602, an OM602. That's the code that they gave for these. On this end, we have something called an OM605. That is a 5-cylinder dual overhead cam engine. It's a diesel. You also have an OM606. So that these two also came. These two dual overhead cam engines came as what would you say? They came as turbo diesels as well, and those are known as the diesel 2JZs. They're quite powerful. I have a friend who's making about, I think, 500 horsepower out of his in Punjab. So that's definitely something cool that you could do with these, and they are powerful. But the thing is, till the 90s, till this car was phased out, till the 124 was phased out, Mercedes never had a right-hand drive turbo diesel car because right-hand drives would have their steering linkages over here, and cars are always developed to be left-hand drive. That's the majority of the market. They will develop it for the majority of the market. So that was the problem. But when they upgraded this car to a not this car, the series, to the W210, this engine did come as well, and it did come as a turbo diesel. They probably figured it out, and they figured out that there was a gap in the market. So you can take that turbo diesel engine and shove it into one of these, because those have a lot of rust problems. So you would get a W210 for quite reasonable in the UK. So as we go to the sides, over here we don't have anything, but over here we do have an amber indicator. But since this is a 250D, it has a fender vent. Now we'll head to the doors and show you the differences. These doors do not have anything, they're just plain. While these over here have this chrome insert and they're much darker. It feels like it's rubberized, while mine don't. Mine feel very plasticky. Or maybe it's the same, but it's just aged. This had door strips. Now it has these Sako panels or door claddings, whatever you want to call them. I've tried to upgrade the car so that the kit would work. Sorry if it looks shabby and you can see gaps. This is the prototype that was used to make the rest, and these are the worst of the body kits because I had to keep them for myself. So I tried to make them work, and I didn't want to waste them. So yeah, this car did have door strips first, and then when they upgraded this car to the second gen, not this one, they did add door panels, these Sako panels. So that is the difference. These had two strips, one along this line, one along this lower line of the door. As you go to the back, there are some more differences. You have got a different type of rear bumper. Here there's something called an impact strip, and the impact strip over here ends at the tail light, while over here it ends near the wheel arch. And on the topic of bumpers, these are extremely brittle. Not mine, they're fiberglass, but these they break really easily. If you just touch them, they'll shatter. I don't mean like touch them, but let's say a rickshaw touch them, it would possibly break. So you have to be careful when you're purchasing one of these, and make sure you get nice bumpers. Bumpers would be probably about 10K a piece now, I think. I don't know. You also get fiberglass replicas, you get fiberglass kits. Yes, I make them. Please come to me. You get fiberglass kits as well, and you also get fiberglass bumpers that look exactly the same. Another thing to note is the bumpers do not have any chrome on this. On this model, they do. So over here you have amber indicators. On this one you don't. And you also have a different trunk. This one has more depth. Back in the day they used to have something called a heck blend, which would seal this area off and make it look like one continuous tail light. Sort of. Then you have a little license plate over here. While this one has less depth, much less depth. And it has this little chrome piece. And yeah. So what I also want to tell you guys is about the nomenclature. It changed between these two cars. This is a 300D, while this is an E250 diesel. But the thing is, they changed the nomenclature. They always used to have the fuel type at the end, or if it was injection, they would put E. But over here, they started to put the E as the class of the car. So I'll show you guys the interiors now. Sorry, mine's super rough. Again, saved from a scrapyard, or from being scrapped. There is no wood trim, if you notice over here. There is a glove box with a handle over there and a lock. There's nothing there. Mine definitely does need a deep clean. Deep clean. Get it? No? Okay. Wood. You've got wood over here. You've got an airbag here, so you don't have a glove compartment. The glove compartment is not there anymore. And you have a piece of wood over here. Over here you don't. Otherwise they look identical. They're the same door cards, just a few differences. This one is fancier. The car looks a little, I mean, it's like they've upgraded it and brought it to the 21st century. You can hear the difference. I know this is rattling, but it is a lot different. You can hear the difference in. It is different, yes. It's probably different qualities of metal, I would guess. I'm pretty sure of that. I'm not. I doubt. I doubt you would. It's a condition problem. I really think it is different qualities of metal, because some people really swear by these. So now we'll get to the parts of this car that you should be looking at when you're purchasing one. Okay, Here we go. So yeah, another noteworthy thing is this mirror is long and slender, while this one is short and stubby. So that's something that the passenger side will be short and stubby. It was also on the W201, a similar thing happened. It does have only one wiper, so that is one thing you should check. There are these little what would you say, gutter channels over here inside. I forgot to show you guys that, but they should be cleaned out. As the owner of this car told me, a lot of experience with the 124. He had one earlier, and he had this problem where when that would get jammed up, there was corrosion caused by water stagnating in certain areas. Also, your battery tray. I think this is the best example of looking at how rough a car can get. But yeah, the battery tray, not exactly, because this is a Delhi car. They don't rust much. So there is this little channel here. Oh, all gunked up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean that out. But yeah, it runs through and it comes down over here, somewhere in the fender. I can't really point it out. Yeah, over there. But yeah, it does run through, and that is important so that water doesn't stagnate and cause rust. So yeah, you also have this wiper, which is a single arm. It moves like this, and it's really cool. But the thing is that it has to be greased correctly. As soon as you buy this car, you should be looking at servicing certain things so they don't deteriorate. I had a case where I was driving a 124 and it started raining, and I put on the wiper and it got stuck. It got stuck in a certain position, and what happened after that was basically the motor wanted to revert back to its original position. It was still getting power, so it started to smoke up because it was jammed. So it started to smoke. There was smoke in the cabin, and it is a fire hazard. If you think about it, it is a fire hazard. So is the wiring. You should make sure that when you're buying one of these cars, the wiring is good, because these have something called biodegradable wiring, and the wiring cracks, and let's say you open the door, the window may come down. I've had a case where that happened. It would just keep happening. So there's nothing you can do about it unless you change the wiring or you try to fix it, but it isn't that easy. These boots are available now. We've got groups and guys source this type of stuff, so we are going to source this for this car. But these boots do go. I think they're about maybe 4,000 a pair, so it's not too bad. It's not too difficult to maintain one of these compared to, let's say, a brand new Polo. That's what I would say. But yeah, so these interiors are really fresh, but you get these as black interiors too, and that is slightly more desirable. I'm not sure if the Telco model came with sunroof, but mine does. But so you do have the options when you're purchasing a car. Okay, so now that we're in the car, I'll shut the door so you can hear me better. Yes, you have you have a pedal here for the handbrake, and you have a lever to disengage the handbrake. So what you do is you press the handbrake down. Wait, where is it? Okay, there it is. And then to release it, oops, sorry. Yep, there we go. Can you hear that? Yeah, that's it. Got the keys. And yeah, you've got this thing too. Oops. So I need to get the antenna working on this car, but right now it doesn't work. This is also something that is extremely brittle. The plastics on these cars is brittle, so you have to be careful. These vents are extremely expensive to replace. Luckily, only this one has a knob problem, but this has good vents. The dashboards also would be an additional cost. So since this is a diesel, you'd have to let it heat up. You've got a heater light, which shuts off quite quickly. Then you just start it up. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, this is the handbrake light. I'll have to disengage that. It goes off. There we go. But I'll press it since we're still in my parking. Oh, another thing to check. If you want to know how healthy the engine is, you should watch the oil level. So when you turn it on, well, it's already generated some pressure because it was on. But if you based on how quickly it shoots up, that means that tells you how healthy the engine is. So this is a fairly healthy engine. It's done it's done 1.2 lakhs, not bad. The temperature should come up to about 90 degrees centigrade on the high side. That's what I've noticed. It's got this airbag over here. So yeah, AC vents, I think they go for about I don't know, 15k a set, which is really expensive. The wood trim is also all in good condition. You do get them with black interiors, more desirable. You get them with automatic transmissions, also more desirable, but you always have the option of upgrading out of another donor car. You've got these headrests. Let's see if they work. So you've got this button over here. We use these. Okay. Maybe they don't work yet. Okay. Anyways, those are supposed to have a vacuum system which drops these with the press of a button. So apart from that, that's how the interior is. You got little extras like over here. You have a little blind in the back. You can see that little line. And we'll take this car for a round, show you guys what it feels like and how it is to drive. It's quite a smooth and fun car. So you've got this switch. Oh wait, where are we? Yeah. Then you switch it to the other side, and the other one should work. Wait, I think the switch is a bit faulty. Anyways, so I'll have to address this too. I've been given the responsibility of finding everything wrong with this car and fixing it for the owner. It's very meticulous that way. Power windows move smoothly, unlike my car. And yeah, you've got this little adjustment knob for the... Yeah, it's still this old size, like what you'd have in the Fiat Uno and Palio. Not practical when you're loading the car, but you wouldn't load anything in this car. That's not necessary. I think this thing pops out. Yes, it does. I'm not going to pull it out. But yeah, we'll take it for a round and I'll show you guys this car as I'm dropping it back. Dropping it back. Another thing to note, one second, let's get out, are the areas that rust. So what happens is water does get trapped and you have areas over here. This is something that the... One second. Mishka, move. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is something that the owner pointed out of this car, that this area tends to rust. I guess water gets trapped and your windshield does lift off over here. So this is an area of concern all the way down, mostly over here. Another part that is a concern is this whole thing and the parcel tray. My parcel tray was completely rusted out. I had to chop one out of another car and replace it. If you guys want to look in the trunk, one second. So this is, sorry, there's a bit of stuff in this car, but yeah, this is how it looks. It's an extremely well put together trunk. All these panels are there. And you've got this little thing here. So I was once on a road trip with some, okay, never mind. There might be kids watching, but this could be manipulated to look very funny. And that's what I noticed when somebody opened their boot. So yeah, now we'll take it out for a round and I'll show you guys a bit more about this car, and you'll have a feel and an idea of what you should be looking at. I think that's pretty much it on the exteriors and things you should look at when you're picking up one. Bumpers, expensive. Interiors, dashboard related stuff, expensive. Make sure you get that in the best of conditions. And yeah, you know, little things. You should just try to figure out where you're moving from that base price, how much it costs. Can you hear the engine? I think I'm going to start up my car too, so you have an idea. Let's hope it starts. It's kind of a pain at times. Okay. I think I'll have to give it a double heater, triple heater, quadruple. So it's got a bit of a starter problem. I guess the solenoid isn't engaging properly, so I'm going to have to cheat it. Okay, my battery's dead. That's another problem with these cars. They have battery leakages. So even though the car is off, it is draining some power. This does have a really messy wiring because it used to be in 300E. It used to be a 300E. Somebody changed everything, so we've got this mess. And probably when I can figure it out, I'm just gonna pull out all the wiring and clean it up. I don't think the ABS works anymore. I'm not sure, but yeah, it would be good to clean this stuff up and make it work correctly. But till then, I'll just have to paint this thing and figure some other stuff out. But yes, round of this coming up in a minute. See ya. So now we're in the 124 and we started up. I'm not sure if I showed you guys this, but the oil pressure has to come up quickly. I'm not sure if you can see that. That tells you that engine is healthy. I can start going. Not really gonna push the car because it's not mine. You've got your AC controls here, and as soon as you turn on the AC, your auxiliary fan turns on. So that does keep the temperatures lower from what I've noticed. If your auxiliary fan is not on, then it does tend to heat up, and it should turn on its own once the car gets to a certain temperature. So this has two fans. One of them is on the engine and it has a coupling. Basically what that coupling does is when the temperature is higher, it starts to hold better, and then it moves at the correct speed. At least that's what I think. I've not really looked into fans much. So it's lovely to drive. The suspension is good. It feels great. It feels like you're on a cloud. You're really on a cloud. That dog has a scarf. Okay. If you haven't noticed, I'm a fan of dogs. So you've got to lift the gear knob and push it back, and that's how you're sure that it's in reverse. It's sometimes quite tough, and these things don't work nicely. Like in my case, I really have to yank it, and after doing that, you get used to it. And you might sit into another car and just yank that one out. But yeah, you have to be careful. So it is a bit hard, the reverse. Sometimes you have to pull it and push it back into the left corner. This car does eat up all the bumps on the road quite well. Oops, there's a box. It picks up quite well compared to modern traffic and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about it being a little too old. And it feels amazing. So yeah, I kind of think this is maybe the perfect match when it comes to a more modern Mercedes. Like this is where I would stop. I'm not a fan of the W110. The 123 is definitely my favorite because I've worked on the 115, I've worked on the 123, and I've worked on the Fintail as well, and I found that it's the easiest to work on because it's simple. It doesn't, they've kind of figured out their stuff by that point, and everything works perfectly there because there's a lot going on actually in this panel behind the dashboard. In the 110, that's the Fintail, it's really hard to work on it. Well, this video is about the 124, but I'm telling you why you should get a 123. That's kind of wrong. So anyways, it's basically as you get a bit more modern from the 123, if you want a modern feel and you want something that's chunky and a real brick, that's this is the brick that you should get. So it feels amazing. What else can I tell you about it? Yeah, well, you've got a good AC. It's always hot here in India. In Goa it's really humid, and it works great. The power windows are also really good. They come down quickly, so if you don't have that running, there's no problem. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sometimes you get a armrest over here. I'm not sure about this model, about the 124, but on the 123 it is on the seat. Basically there is an armrest on the seat. You have a little knob, it comes down, and on this I think it's on this central panel, and it's really helpful because then you feel really relaxed. Your arms just resting there, but you've got some other stuff going on here with the cassette player and stuff. And yeah, this car has great visibility. In modern cars, I think they're like forgetting about these things. There's some things just getting wrong, really horribly wrong. This car was from a time when the developments were really expensive. Like the W140 is extremely expensive because of the way they developed it. I don't know the numbers, but it did cost them a lot to develop that car. But this was the last of the cars that you can say was built to a standard. So they basically priced it later, right? But nowadays the cars are made to a certain budget, and that's where all the problems come in. So yeah, suspension is great, engine is refined. That's why you should get this over an older Merc. And it's still simple, so it's much better than the newer cars because it's still simple. You could work on it yourself, and there's no problem there. It's easy to use. Oh no, traffic jam. Not really. Okay, but yeah, it is easy to use, and easy to use, easy to fix, no problem. The diesels, I would say, are better because the petrols have ECU problems at times, and I've seen people struggling with that. Each thing that makes your car more, you know, a little less reliable is a problem. That's what I see it as. So every time, let's say you pick up a petrol, the ECU gives you a problem, it gets fried, and you have to wait for the ECU to get fixed, or you need a replacement. Your car's out of action. But a car like this, a normal diesel, the diesel is a mechanical pump. There's nothing to worry about there, and it's quite simple. I'm sure you'll get not really a local mechanic, but a little premium workshop should be able to handle this easily, if not doing a lot of the stuff yourself. So it is easy, it's not a big challenge. I think I'm gonna push it first. Yes, people must be wondering what the contraption on my head is. So yeah, with that, I need to drop the car to the owner's house, so I'll be closing now. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think and which car you'd like to see next. If I have my hands on them, or if I can get access to it, I'm sure I can show it to you and tell you what I think and what to look at when you're purchasing one. So see you guys next time. Like, share, subscribe, and do that whole thing. Bye bye.